Dan Harris was a rising journalist and news anchor at ABC News, living a life filled with intensity, pressure, and adrenaline. His career was on a steady rise as he covered wars, terrorist attacks, and major international events. However, this demanding professional environment took a serious toll on his mental health. Harris struggled with intense stress, lack of sleep, and often resorted to self-destructive habits, such as overworking and drug use, to cope with the pressure. Everything came to a head in 2004, when, during a live broadcast on Good Morning America, Harris experienced something no one expected: an intense panic attack on air. As he spoke, his voice began to tremble, his heart pounded uncontrollably, and his body froze. Anxiety consumed him so much that he was forced to stop suddenly, unable to continue. The incident was broadcast live to millions of viewers, leaving everyone stunned. The audience's reaction was mixed. Many viewers felt sympathy for his situation, while others were simply shocked that a seemingly composed professional collapsed before their eyes. Behind the scenes, his colleagues tried to calm him down, but it was clear that Harris had reached a breaking point of exhaustion. This experience shook him deeply. For the first time, Harris realized that something was seriously wrong. He had spent years ignoring the warning signs of his mental and emotional exhaustion, but now it was impossible to overlook them. Instead of accepting this situation as normal for a high-pressure journalist, he started searching for a solution. At first, he tried to ignore the problem, blaming it on job-related stress. He continued working excessively, hoping the incident was an isolated event. However, panic attacks became more frequent, and he began feeling like he was losing control of his life. So, he turned to mental health professionals, who explained that excessive pressure and his unhealthy coping mechanisms played a significant role in his condition. It was clear that he needed a real change in how he handled stress and the intensity of his life. So he embarked on a journey of self-discovery, an exploration of his mind, emotions, and ability to manage anxiety. He didn't yet know what the solution would be, but one thing was certain: he had to find a way to regain control of his life. And somewhere along this journey, he would come across meditation. Have you ever experienced a situation of intense anxiety or panic? If so, what was the first thing you did to deal with it? After his panic attack, Dan Harris found himself at a crossroads. He knew he couldn't continue living at this pace, but at the same time, he had no idea how to change. The usual solutions, vacations, working even harder, or even medication, didn't seem enough. So he embarked on a deeper search. At first, he turned to science. He started reading about anxiety, brain function, and how hormones influence emotions. He discovered that chronic stress alters brain chemistry, reinforcing the cycle of anxiety. He also realized that modern life conditions our minds to be in a constant state of overstimulation, making relaxation difficult. Then, he began talking to experts. He met with psychologists, neuroscientists, and people who had studied mindset and behavior. Most of them agreed on one thing: inner peace doesn't come from external changes, but from how we manage our thoughts. This idea made him pause. Until then, he had believed that happiness and success depended on external factors: his career, reputation, and financial success. The real turning point came when someone suggested he try meditation. His first reaction was sarcastic. He considered meditation to be something alternative, a pointless practice that didn't fit someone as skeptical as him. However, his curiosity won out. If so many experts praised its benefits, maybe it was worth exploring. So he decided to learn more. He started watching talks, reading books, and listening to stories of people who had found balance through meditation. And somewhere in this process, he realized something that would change his life. Happiness isn't something you chase, it's something you cultivate within yourself. But could someone like Dan Harris, a skeptical, anxious, hyperactive professional, make meditation a part of his life? And if so, how much could it really change his daily routine? Dan Harris had heard enough about meditation. Experts, scientists, and people who had tried it spoke about its benefits. Yet he remained skeptical. The idea of sitting in silence and observing his breath seemed boring, even ridiculous. How could something so simple have a real impact on his anxiety and life? His first attempt was disappointing. He sat in a chair, closed his eyes, and tried to focus on his breathing as he had been advised. Within seconds, his mind was flooded with thoughts. What am I doing here? This is a waste of time. There's no way this works. Instead of feeling calm, he felt restless and irritated. This confirmed his doubts. Meditation was an overrated practice, probably only useful for people with a particular mindset, and he was not one of them. But something inside him pushed him to keep going. Maybe it was curiosity, or maybe it was the realization that he didn't want to dismiss something without giving it a fair chance. So, he decided to stick with it for a little longer. Gradually, he noticed something interesting. The goal of meditation was not to empty his mind, as he had initially thought. Instead, it was to observe his thoughts without letting them control him. This small but crucial shift in perspective made a difference. He began to notice that even when his thoughts raced non-stop, there was a brief moment of stillness between them, a tiny pause, a point where he could take a breath before the next thought took over. These moments, though short, gave him an unfamiliar sense of control. This encouraged him to continue. What started as just a few minutes turned into a habit. It wasn't always easy. Sometimes he felt impatient. Other times, he got completely lost in thought. But something inside him had changed. He no longer saw meditation as a weird ritual, but as a tool that, if used correctly, could make him even 10% happier. And as he would later realize, that 10% could make a huge difference in his daily life. But could such a simple practice truly transform his life in the long run? Or was it just a temporary placebo? And so Dan Harris discovered that a practice he once dismissed as pointless actually had the power to transform his life. Not in a magical way, but through small, daily changes that added up over time. Meditation wasn't an instant cure, but a tool that gave him control, calmness, and a new perspective on anxiety and life's challenges. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's a small gesture, but it means the world to us. This channel is new, and every like, comment, and subscription helps the algorithm suggest our content to more people. If you found something valuable here, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from it. And of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever tried meditation? Do you think it can actually make life even 10% better? I'd love to hear what you think. Until the next video, stay tuned and keep exploring new ideas that can improve your life.